So here we have the Chunky Toe. Strange name, and there must be an amazing reason for that name. But let's talk about the Campbell Designed Chunky Toe, which is made out of EPS. I'm 6'2" and about 93 kilograms, and this Chunky Toe is a off-the-shelf spec, except for two things. It's 6'4", it is 21 5/8 by 2 7/8, and it comes in at 44 litres. Now, the two things that make this board a little bit different to a standard spec are it has a beautiful 4-channel bottom, because I really do like a channel bottom, and also you can see it's got this lovely red rail. So that's what makes this one slightly better than a standard one. We'll talk about the difference. Now, if I had to guess, the volume is probably just a fraction less than 44 litres, because with this channel there will have been some foam shaved out of it, but I'm still going to get that sideways traction that I really look for in good waves. The Chunky Toe is made out of Exo Flex technology, and that's really important. We're going to cover that in a moment. First up, what we need to know is this is a thruster, and I have not had a thruster for about 5 years, and that's because I've been riding twin fins, single fins, and a few quads. And I wasn't able to ride thrusters so well 5 years ago, but now I'm ready. So I ordered this one to see how we go, and the results were remarkable. The nose of the Chunky Toe is fairly broad, but still pulled in like a performance board, as you would expect. But this is quite a generous width, and that means that you have a lot of stability and it's easy to balance. It is also specifically designed for the kind of small to medium waves that we typically experience here on the Sunshine Coast. So you could use it in a wave pool, small waves, medium waves, and I've heard it goes pretty well in good waves. Biggest waves I've ridden it in so far are about 4 feet, and I expect that it would go better in good, clean, larger waves as well. But I was actually really impressed with the wave range. I have surfed this board in as tiny waves as like double over ankle, and it was still able to catch the waves, and I was able to stand on it, which I was impressed with. So let's talk about the outline. The tail outline comes in to a nice swallow tail, and it's still generously wide. So you've got plenty of surface area to get your speed and for your back foot to really push into those fins. Okay, it's time to run the straight edge over the board and see what the shape is. Pretty flat entry, still flat, still flat, still flat. Remember, flat is fast. Oh, and now we're starting to see a bit of single concave, and that's under that front foot. So we go down, still a very mild single. Now this one has optional channels, and you can see we've effectively got a double concave V here, quad concave really, with 4 channels. And then behind the fins, got the very slight V from side to side, and at the back got a nice little V happening there behind the back fin. But that is why it's got so much control. Think about all that grip there. These little channels are acting like a fin, 1, 2, and then you've got the fin. It's never going to slide out. The fins I chose to try this out are the John large Futures fins. I mean, these fins worked really well in a previous channel bottom thruster that I had, and they're still performing beautifully. I'm fairly heavy, and these fins felt great. I don't really feel like I need to change them for any reason whatsoever. This board was lively, probably in large part because of the Exo Flex, but it was delightfully easy to catch waves, even if the waves were tiny, and it has so much control. It's also the first time I put a Tailpad on anything for quite some time, and it's nice to jam my back foot in this. Because I ride twin fins, I found often that my back foot would be in front of the pad. Now that I have that third fin here, the thruster setup, I'm putting that back foot right on the back of this pad, and it's got so much turning ability. It was actually shocking how precise it is. I would describe it like a Formula One car on slicks versus a Subaru rally car that I've been drifting around on with the twin fins. The rails are beautifully foiled. They've got a fair amount of meat in them, and they're still soft and forgiving. They won't catch all the way through to the tail, and you'll see that they start to thin out a little because of the channel here, which is the optional channel. But I really like the rails on this board. They're very, very nice rails. Nothing weird going on whatsoever. Have a look at this cute little nose. It's got this little flip up in the nose, but then it goes pretty flat, and it's fairly flat all the way through. Just a little bit of tail rocker, which means this board is really comfortable in a good little range of waves, and it's fast. So what makes Exo Flex technology so good? There is a patent pending on this, and I can see why. You can probably notice this carbon strip. Now it looks a bit prettier than the older versions that used to be just plain black. Now it's got this nice little pattern and an artistic white line. Those are just cosmetic. But the real magic is this carbon strip. It's not just some surface level strip. It's actually multiple layers of carbon that form a mechanical spring. Now there's one on the bottom and there's also one on the top. And this spring is calibrated according to the board type and the rider weight. So because I'm heavy and this is a performance board, the spring has been calibrated for me, and that gives this board incredible strength. And also the EPS boards from Campbell Designed, they're not super bouncy like some of the other ones I've tried from the other brands. It's a really nice weight, and it just feels like it literally makes you surf better. The carbon strip runs all the way from the nose, right down the board, straight to the back fin box on the bottom. It doesn't go past the back fin box, and on the top, it goes all the way down to just under before the leash plug. This board does not have a wooden stringer, and it does not have any carbon or anything wrapped around the edge. One of the reasons I stopped riding thrusters is I was getting boards that were too small. They were made out of PU and they were hard to paddle, and I couldn't ride them properly. Then when I tried the EPS ones, they were just bouncing around, difficult to control. The chunky toe is perfect. It's like the Goldilocks board. It's actually the right size for me now. It is so easy to paddle. I can stand up, catch waves, do turns. I'm back in the thruster game, and it's been a 5-year wait. And really it's been enabled by the technology that is unique to the Campbell Designed range. It makes it really hard to think about buying a different type of board now when you experience how good that Exo Flex is. Hey, if you're enjoying these videos, be sure to subscribe and drop a comment below. Have you tried a Campbell Designed Exo Flex board, and what was your experience?